Welcome. Is there anything in particular that we need today? A little bit in the neck? Okay. Any other needs? Any wants? Let's go for wants. Oh. Hmm? Some grounding. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So a little bit in the neck and a little bit in the grounding. When I need to get grounded, things I like to do is work with the breath, and I like to work in the legs because they are really the connection to the ground. I like to also practice like inhabiting the internal space of the feet. So bringing energy down. Like when we say we're scattered or overwhelmed, we're just like, oh my God, I'm so scattered. I'm overwhelmed. Nobody's ever been like, I'm so scattered. Like, you know what I mean? We say, I'm so scattered up here. So we want to move our subtle energy down. Does that make sense? So the more you move in the base of the body, the more you're going to really ground the energy. And a lot of us unconsciously, our subtle energy from early on tended to go up and out, because if we felt uh, emotions that were unpleasant and nobody helped us hold them, sometimes it was too hard to stay with it, right? So consciousness would come upward. Consciousness would go up to disengage from feeling. Does that make sense? And so then many of us ended up being like overthinkers, overanalyzers, or we even go whoop into daydreaming. Does that make sense? So it's very interesting. So to ground, we want to come back into the body, and it's also to the extent that we can, we want to learn to stay with what we're feeling. And oh my gosh, and sometimes we've felt enough, and it's okay to do a little suppression here and there. I remember when my meditation teacher first told me, it's like, yeah, feel, and it's okay to do a little suppression here and there. Because sometimes, like, it's not an appropriate situation to feel, right? You need to, like, yeah. So it's all about balance. It is all about balance. And we're always moving either towards balance or away from balance. And that's kind of scary when you think about it. Like, we're never just like hanging out. It'd be really sweet if we were, but it's almost like we're always like moving away or moving towards. But knowing that, I think it's really neat because we can actually do things to adjust ourself and take care of ourselves. Yeah. So come take a nice tall seat. Ah. And just really settling into the sweetness of being able to come together on this Thursday morning. Taking a moment to really reflect on our life conditions. In the larger sense, our life conditions are pretty great if we can be sitting in a yoga class at 10 a.m. on a Thursday. So, whatever story is going on in the larger sense, our life is pretty good if we can be sitting in a yoga class on a Thursday morning and just letting that land for a moment. And allow yourself to drop roots down into ground. Imagine that you could send some roots down, oh, about 7 to 10 feet down into the earth herself. And imagine down about 7 to 10 feet in the earth that there's something that I like to call a earth star. And this is a beautiful red star. And take your roots and imagine wrapping them around this earth star so that you feel tethered. So we can start that process of grounding. And every time you exhale, let yourself get heavier. Imagine yourself getting like really heavy, like meditate on the feeling of gravity and allow gravity to weigh you down into the ground and down below the ground. And feel yourself tethered as well. And take a moment and let your consciousness rest 7 to 10 feet down into ground. Just notice how when you rest in the ground, it feels very different than when you rest in your head. Take a moment and come back up into the head. And then drop it for now and drop your awareness into the good ground. Let go of the idea that you can't drop your awareness outside of your body. Awareness is everywhere. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, open mouth. Big, beautiful breath in. Beautiful breath out. Taking several more rounds on your own, slow, deep breaths, emphasis on the exhales. Imagine every time that you exhale that you're sending any of that scattered, overwhelmed energy down, 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 down through your roots into the good ground. One more round, big breath in. Big breath out. Start to circle from the very base. Imagine you're circling from the base of the spine. Purse your lips and make big breaths in and out through the mouth as you circle like this. Other way around. back to center. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Squeeze root lock. Lift the heart. Drop the shoulders. Tuck your chin. Look straight. Let it go. Take your hands by your sides. Mountain breath, being like a mountain. Exhale, open mouth. Turn the palms upward. Inhale deeply from low belly, ribs, all the way to high chest. Suspend the breath. Let the eyes closed go inward. Be still. Ground. Be like the mountain. Turn the palms. Exhale slowly. Deep breath in. Powerful exhale. Slowly inhale with your hands. Hold. Pull root lock. Be the mountain. Mountain stays steady regardless of changing seasons and weather, rain, snow, heat. It's able to remain regardless of the changing circumstances. We want to touch that aspect of who we are that is unchanging and can hold all experience. Exhale slowly. We'll do one more round. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Turn the palms to open, slowly inhaling. And hold. Slowly, slowly exhale, let it go. Take your hands together, deep breath in, deep breath out. Big, beautiful breath in, beautiful breath out. Again, big breath in, big breath out. Big breath in, and hold. Allow yourself to rest in and as that silence that's created in practice. Exhale, let it go. Half breath in, breath of fire out. And as you're practicing breath of fire, keep grounding, keep letting go. Keep resting into the back body. And allow yourself to be soft and relaxed and a powerful breath. And as you're doing this, notice if your consciousness has traveled upward, keep resting your consciousness in your roots. Drop it, keep dropping. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and release. And just stay here and be the witness of your experience. Study your experience. And if there's more silence or more peace that's coming online, coming towards the forefront of your experience, what if you completely allowed yourself to savor it? Take a moment and just savor maybe the stability, if that's most dominant, or the quiet, or the peace, or the stillness, whatever it is, lean into it and really drink from that well. We tend to drink from the well of worry or drink from the well of frustration or sadness. What if we could open to drinking from the well of peace and stillness and stability? So we can open that up in practice and then rest into it and savor that experience. And as we do that, we wire that in and it becomes easier to get back to it. Come forwards onto your hands and knees. And as you do that, spread your fingers, curl your toes, and take some rounds of cat to cow. And start to lean even further back as you round. And then start to add your ocean waves. Be like water. One thing I've learned over the years is to be like water in challenging, trying, or painful situations. It's flowing with what is. And really trying to stay steadfast to being sincere. And really trusting that source, that the creative, divine is working things out ultimately in your favor. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal out. And then press back through your heels to hold. Folding from the hip joint, allowing the heart to press through, lengthen your sides. Good. Touch the knees to the floor and transition towards your bellies, lengthening out through both legs and finding where you like your arms to be for a nourishing cobra. And then taking your time rising up into your cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhaling, drawing yourself up, heart through, toning low belly, and exhale, releasing. Rising up and releasing down. Rising up and releasing down. Good. And then send your hands back. Lift everything off the ground. Reach the crown forward. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Reach hands towards heels. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Gently press up and back. Downward facing dog. Press out through heels. Tone low belly. Breathe. Good. Touch the knees to the floor. And as you touch the knees to the floor, untuck your toes. Strong core. Rise up. You can fly up. And then take your left hand across your belly. Right arm comes over. And then we'll inhale, float the arms out wide. Exhale, left arm comes over to the right. Gently scoop both arms up and then see if you can float down. Downward facing dog. Touch the knees to the floor, untuck your toes, fly up. Left hand across the belly, right arm over. Float arms wide. Left arm over, right hand across the belly. Float the arms up. See if you can float down, rising up. As you rise up now, send your feet wide, about the width of your mat or so. And walk your hands in about halfway. Functional forward bend, folding from the hip joint. Sending your bottom back, reaching your hands forward. And now check, is your head hanging? Let the head hang. You can rock your head back and forth like it's saying yes, gentle, and like it's saying no. Walk your hands in even more. Take your hands underneath your toes. Press your booty back, bow forward.
Tone the low belly. Send your thigh bones back. Good. And then release, turn your toes out wider than your heels, lower into Malasana. Adjust your feet, pivot until you feel comfortable and hold it here. Soften your jaw, relax your expression, drop the tailbone down, press the whole pelvis forward. Strong core, root to rise all the way up. Exhale back to the center. Release the hands by your sides and just hold it here. And now bring all of your awareness to your feet and feel your yoga mat underneath your feet. So concentrate for a moment on the sensation of your feet and the feeling of the yoga mat underneath. And notice as you inhale, if as you inhale, your consciousness comes back out of your feet. Keep dropping it down. When I need to settle myself, when I need to calm myself, I land in my feet. There's not much happening here, and it's a wonderful place to be. It's very different to rest your consciousness in your feet versus your head. Keep tracking the feeling of the yoga mat underneath your toes and the ball of the foot and the heel. And keep noticing how quickly the narrator wants to interject with a story to draw you up and out. So with practice, we can learn to stay. And then depending on stress or sleep or medications, foods we're eating, even with practice, sometimes you'll notice the mind is shifting. Ground through your left leg, raise the right leg up, and then bring it to the inner thigh or below your knee or to your ankle. So find what works for you and don't lose contact of the yoga mat under your foot. Feel that contact. Or maybe you could feel right now that your left foot has roots and it's extending all the way down into that earth star. Go so deep inside your own experience that even if someone else loses balance, you can stay steady. Call all of your awareness home into your own body. Rest into the back body if you need to. Find the place that you can hook into to stay. Good. Release. You're going to anchor that right leg deeply and you'll sweep your left leg high. And then you'll take that left foot at ankle, below knee, or above the knee. Yogi's choice. Breathe deeply. Soften your expression. Take the ground as your larger body and feel that gravity. Keep your breath flowing. You're doing great. And release. Take your feet out wide, grab your block. You're going to appreciate being sideways on your mat. So feet are nice and wide. You can spiral your second toes inward. Take your hands on your hips. Fold forward. Fold forward, fold forward, fold forward. Some of you will be able to rest your head on the block. Some of you are going to need to place your hands on the block. Doesn't matter where we are today. Maybe you place your hands to ground and head on block for support. So find what nourishes you this morning. And be active in your legs. Press through the big toe mounds. Turn on the inner thighs. Send your thigh bones back. Fold from the hip joint. Tone the low belly. Really allow yourself to surrender into the pose. Very good. Take a deep breath in. Double exhale. And then press up onto your hands. Use blocks if needed. Walk the hands slightly forward and rock your body back and forth. Focus on the backward movement more. So pressing back. So pressing back, plant your, doesn't matter, one hand down, other arm up. And you can look down, or you can look to the side wall, or you can look up. Now push your legs even more deeply as if you were trying to press the ground away. Tone your low belly. Jaw is soft. Very good. Come back to center. Rock back and forth. You're doing great. Maybe even making that open mouth exhale. Allowing energy to express through sound vibration. Plant your other hand down, revolve. And release that hand. Strong core. Take your hands to your hips. Draw yourself up. Heel toe in. Take a quarter turn until you face towards the top of your mat. Turn your toes out wider than your heels and lower. Let the tailbone land. Press the whole pelvis forward. Soften your expression. and search for something in your experience that feels good. I remember when I've gotten like extreme like bouts of anxiety, I'll like feel a lot of anxiety. So it was such a good practice to learn because you can apply it. And I was like, okay, can I find somewhere that doesn't have anxiety? It's like my pinky. My pinky isn't anxious. So I would just like meditate on my pinky. And I can feel that that part is okay. And then that piece starts to expand. So you have to apply the techniques and you can do it. And sometimes life gives you these, quote, opportunities, challenge, problem to apply practice. Open this up. Notice I'm coming on the ball of the right foot and then I'm coming on the heel of the left and I'm opening the hip, looking towards the left. Heart wide open. Yeah. And then switch, other side. And take care of yourself and catch if the narrator starts telling a story about what you can and can't do. Let go of the idea that the level of practice has anything to do with how deep you go into postures. Come back to the center. Scoop your hands from the inside out and lower into a little crab. And then bring your chest through. And then drop your tailbone, softening your expression. Strong core, root to rise, float all the way up. Tuck your chin if you're a little lightheaded. Turn your toes to face forward. Notice how you feel. And do you naturally now have more of a felt sense of your feet to ground? Keep sinking down, down, down. Good. I see some heads shaking in here, so I'm happy to see that. We want to know how to manipulate practice to get our needs met. You can manipulate the practice to adjust it. It's like turning the dial to the left a little bit or to the right to get what you need. Spread your feet, and as you spread your feet, notice how my toes are turned towards the top corners. You might appreciate the length of your mat right now, so on the side. And start to just do these little presses where you sink down and you come up. Over the years, I've noticed that if I apply a little smile, it covers up my grimace. Yes. And when you're doing this, don't have the legs so wide that your knees and toes can't point in the same direction. You want knees and toes floating out. So it's almost like you feel your inner knee pushing out towards your outer knee. Does that make sense? So sink into that wide squat, press those knees out, and then lower even deeper into the squat and hold. Breathe. And you're putting your bottom into the chair, so as if you were sitting back into the chair. And feel the grounding that happens through a strengthening, strong pose. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, rise up and out. Very good. Wide legs. Arms out wide in the shape of a 5-point star, and then cross to one side, doesn't matter which. And as you hold here, again, press the big toe mounds down. Try to straighten the legs more. You're welcome to wrap the top arm to sacrum or around the lower back. And keep pushing the ground away. Keep lengthening the back line of the legs, folding from the hips. Extend your top arm high again and look up towards it. How's your breathing? Strong core, float all the way back up. Bend your knees if you need to for support. And then press your bottom back. Yeah, lean forward. And then take the twist. Once you're in the twist, push your feet into the ground as if you want to push the ground away. Turn on your inner thighs, lengthen the back line of the legs, scoop your hand to sacrum or further around. Yogi's choice. Reach the arm up. Strong core, rising all the way back up. Press the hands together. Heel toe in, just a touch. Lower back down into your squat. Raise the arms by your sides. Breathing long and deep. See if you can sink down a little deeper. And there can be intensity and there can also be stillness. Lean more into the stillness. There's also your breath. Good. Inhale, rising up. Float the arms wide and down. And just pause, rest in this space that's opened up in your experience. And again, if you feel more silence or more peace or more grounding, take a moment, like stop and really drink from that well. We hyper focus on what doesn't feel good. Why can't we learn to hyper focus on the parts that feel really, really good? You're like, nothing feels good. You're not looking close enough. Go even more intimately into your experience. Search for something. Keep unhooking from the narrator. There's so much to say. And so often it wants to make the story so sad, so dramatic, so outrageous. It's so outrageous. Turn your right toes out towards the top of your mat. I've spiraled my left foot slightly in. And sometimes this practice we describe like doing this pose between two panes, like you're in between right here. And so you're trying to stay right in between. But I'll often see students push their butt out, and so it almost comes like into a forward fold. So notice how I'm going to lean towards the right. And for me, I get this felt sense of my tailbone reaching to the back heel. See how that feels? And then releasing the hand down. It may just be above the knee or below the knee. And I'm sending the arm up from the shoulder joint, reaching high. steady, strong, stable, focused, grounding, pressing the ground away. You got this. Strong core, bend your front knee, gently float up, switch. Send your tailbone towards the back heel. Lean, 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 and release. Spiral from the low belly, the ribs, then the shoulder. Open this up. Breathing long and deep. Stay in the felt sense of your body, unblend from the narrator. So much to say. Bend the front knee, gently rising back up to release. Good. Turn the toes to face forward. Fold from the hip joint, release the hands down. Use a block if needed. Feet are wide, but you still feel in control. Scoop the hands through the legs as far back as you can through. Pinkies touch. Very good. From here, extend one arm straight forward. Switch. Both hands forward. Lift yourself up, chest lifts, heel toe in. Bring the feet all the way together. And then bend the knees and take a little hop, a quarter turn towards the top of your mat. And from there, bend the knees lower all the way down into Vajrasana. And if Vajrasana doesn't work for your body this morning, you could come into easy pose. Imagine your body heavy and melting. Heavy and melting. Ah. Notice how you feel right now. Start to roll your shoulders up, back, and around. Yeah. And doing this last today because if we started here, your consciousness would have more likely stayed up here. Yes? So we dropped down first. Make sense? So you can manipulate the practice to get what you need. This is the only place we should manipulate. Other way around. And then even stroking one shoulder up, back and around at a time. Smooth and steady. Other way around. And then even inhaling, drawing the shoulders up and releasing down. Two more. One more. Yeah. Turn your head to one side. Turn your head to the other side. And then connecting these 2 points. Stay embodied. Can you work in the neck and still stay grounded and rooted? Very good. Come back to the center, add your arms. Notice what that small change does as you sweep your head side to side. Yeah. Very good. Come back to the center and release. Sternum is lifted. Tuck the chin. Inhale, look up without collapsing the back of the neck. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Inhale, rise up with the left arm, turn away. If your nose is in your underarm, you went the wrong way. And release. Other way. Good. Yeah. And then just floating side to side. Are you clenching your teeth? No need to. You could smile. The smiling definitely unclenches teeth, right? And you can't do both of those very easily together. Oh, I remember when Sashi would say that. Sometimes I'd be like, I don't want to smile. I'm mad. Can't you see? Like inside, I was like, can't you see I'm mad? I was really stuck in my misery, and misery likes company. But my teacher would have none of that. Absolutely none of that. Good. And come back to the center. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Interlace the hands behind the back. Exhale, bow. Tuck your chin. Now really tuck your chin. Bring your arms up off your back. Inhale, rise up, float the arms high. Easy twist to the right. Inhale, float the arms high. Easy twist to the left. Inhale, arms high. Left arm over to right. Inhale high. Right arm over to left. Very nice. Yeah. Inhale, float the arms high. See if you can cross the ankles and lower back. And as you lower back, circle like we did at the beginning of class. And just note if right now there's a change. And you actually want to study the change. So if you want to know the nature of mind, you actually have to study your own mind. If you want to know the nature of experience, you need to learn to study experience. To actually study experience itself. Where does experience arise from? All experience comes from something and then goes back into something. What is that something? Good. Coming back to center, you can even wobble side to side. On your next exhale, blubber the lips. And then send your legs forward, lie down onto your back, and then bring the knees in. Rock your head side to side, neck turns, taking advantage of gravity. It's nice here to do neck turns. And a little head massage too, yeah? And then with the hands on the knees, gently circle. Other way around. And then send your right leg ahead. Hug the left knee into chest. And melt your body into gravity, letting go. And switch sides, please. Allow your opposite hand to come to knee and take a nice twist. Allow your mind to keep settling into the breath and into the felt sense of the body. Come back to the center. Give yourself a great big hug. And then send the opposite leg straight and come into the twist. Come back to center, rise up, give yourself a nice big hug. And then draw back through happy baby. And back in the neck long. Anchor your lower back. Press the back of the pelvis down. Breathe. And release. Send the legs wide. Shimmy a little bit side to side. Wiggle it out until you find that sweet spot. And then imagine you were laying down in the ground like you did this dugout and you just laid yourself down into this cold dirt. And just allow yourself to rest in this nook, allowing the earth to really mold to your body and hold you. Ask yourself the question, if you could be 5 to 10% more comfortable, what might you shift? And take a moment to make any adjustments you need. And then this last part of class. Let it all go. Let it all go. Keep sensing your back body resting into the ground. And then take a moment and feel your feet. And as you rest into your feet, you might immediately notice the temperature of the room against the skin of your feet. You might sense the pressure of clothing around your ankles. You might notice that your feet are relaxed or maybe they're tense. You might feel that your feet are tired or maybe they're energized. And now take it even further. Take a moment to inhabit the internal space of your feet as if you were going to live from within your feet. And keep abiding in the internal space of your feet. And catch how often when you inhale, the inhale pulls you out of your feet and back into stories or back into anything besides our place of focus, which is in the feet.
Gently wiggle your toes and your fingers. You might even appreciate a nice long stretch in opposite directions. And in your own leisurely way, start to transition back to seated, but in a way that doesn't shock your body. Move nice and slow. And we'll meet in a tall seat. Grounded, anchored, steady, able and willing to flow. Peace to all, light to all, love to all. Namaste. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you so much for your support and your love and your care of the studio. Thank you to those of you online and on demand. We just found out we got nominated for Best Yoga in Parker County. So we're going to need a little help. It's going to come out in the newsletter. We'll need a little help with nomination. I don't fully understand the whole thing. Nomination or being nominated. You have to get nominated first and then voting, and then voting happens. So I guess first we have to get nominated. So we're not even nominated. We're on the list. Jenny's helping me right now. We're on the list, but I guess we don't stay on the list unless you nominate us, and then you have to vote for us. So we will send the instructions. Thanks. Have a great day.